Good morning. I'm actually trying to replace the combat trigger of the stock trigger of the CZ75 Pre-B. This is the Pre-B model. I've done a couple of upgrades here with the help of a friend, and today I have a Imansec competition trigger. This is the ultimate trigger for CZ75, and this actually comes with a kit, the screw adjustments, and the competition trigger pin, the reusable pin. So yeah, let's go ahead and start. I actually did some an attempt to replace it, but it actually fails. Today I just want to show to you if you have any idea on what's going on, you can go ahead and comment on the comment section. Okay, so what happened was, after replacing the part or the trigger, I have an issue with the reset. I mean, it actually fires the single action and the not the double action. Safety check, by the way. No no ammos on the chamber. So it fires the single action but not the double action, and it fails to reset the trigger. I'm suspecting that it's actually the length or the diameter of the trigger. Let me go ahead and show that to you real quick. So let me remove this takedown pin here real quick. Set that aside. So here's the stock trigger. So that's the stock trigger. Okay, so for us to be able to remove this, we're gonna have to use a pin. Grab a pin here real quick. Okay. After pulling out the pin, you just need to grab it and then remove the takedown punch. There you have. The trigger is actually there. So the competition trigger return spring is here. The competition reusable pin is here as well. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to hold on 1 second. Let me. I'm going to remove this. There's actually a trick in removing this. So there's actually a trick in removing the trigger, or from separating the trigger itself from the trigger bow assembly. You just need to align this notch over here. Look at that hole. You just need to align those. Hold on 1 second, let me get it up. Okay, there you go. If you can see, there's kind of hole. This. Hold on, let me align that real quick here. There you go. So make sure it's properly aligned, and then you actually need to punch that on the other side using a punch tool. There, and it will fall right off, so you can remove the, this is the stock trigger. Let me grab a caliper here real quick, then make sure it's 0. 7.91, 7.91, and the ultimate trigger is kind of 8, so it's a bit wider as compared to the stock trigger. I don't know if that's the issue, or take a look at this one. 7.90. The other hole on top for the trigger pin, 7.87. So the top hole 8, bottom hole is 7.98, roughly around that size. Now I can measure this. But just to, I just want to show you the biggest so that once I actually install this, it's gonna create an issue. So as early as now, I just want to show you what's going on with the trigger. But so we just need to align this, align the trigger bow with that. Just need a magnet to have this thing work. You just need a magnet. There you go. So let me do this thing. So I'm putting back the pin, the competition pin. Let me align that. Okay, but not all the way through. You just need to put that in like so on the first hole, all the way to the first hole from the trigger, and then grab this piece. I'm using a pliers because I don't have the tool itself, so just make sure it's not too tight because it might damage it. So put this thing in. Okay. So just need to align this thing out. Very easy to do. And then push the pin like so. Push the pin. There we go. Now here is where the issue starts. Look, it's not engaging the double action port. If you check on the okay, so it's not engaging, but it actually engaged the single action. Let me get this thing out, but it's good. Look, but it's not resetting. Look. Okay. It's not resetting. So there's the issue. I can cock the hammer and then pull the trigger. It's actually engaging the hammer, but look, the trigger is not resetting. Trigger is not resetting. So I really can't figure out the reason why it's happening. If I can, let me, so I'm pulling out so let me pull out the disconnector or the sear, what do you call it, the sear housing, the sear cage. I'm pulling it out pretty easily. I'm moving it there. So I'm removing the entire trigger assembly again by removing the pin. This is actually the beauty of the beauty of the competition trigger pin, because that's reusable. There you go. So I'm removing it, the whole trigger assembly works this way. The whole trigger assembly of the actually works this way. Let me remove this. Removing the pre-travel. Moving the pre-travel. There. So that's the issue. I don't know if it has something to do with this. So if the ultimate trigger is actually installed, the swivel is like from this far to this far, kind of like stopping the momentum of this part. This part is actually curved, and the trigger bow itself is flat, so it's kind of stopping the momentum of the swivel. So if we try to put the other trigger, which is the stock one, okay, it actually swivels all the way through. There you go. So just this part, I guess. Look. This is how should the trigger work. This is how the trigger is supposed to work. So, not sure if I can have this corrected by simply grinding this part over here, but I need to consult a friend first before doing that. See how it freely moves on the stock trigger. Okay, so that's the issue over here. If I found a solution on how to work things out, I'll make sure to give you a heads up on how to properly have this work to my CC75 Pre-B. I know some folks out there have their CZ75 Omega, CZ75 SPO1, Shadow 2. This trigger doesn't have any problems, by the way. It's completely dropped in 100%. No adjustment needed. Maybe for the pre-travel and the over travel, you may need to adjust the screws, but other than that, nothing else. It's pretty much dropped in literally. So just with this kind of firearm, this is actually a Pre-B version of the CZ75. So I'll give you guys heads up once I determine on how to work things out over here. Thank you for watching.